and welcome to another episode of Hobby Night School. We are super excited to have Serg from the Ghostbreakers on with us. And this is his first time coming on a podcast, and it's his first time like showing his face. So we really are just like lucky to have him on here because I met him in Burbank and I purchased Pixar cards from him, and then I harass him every single day, like every day with questions. So I thought it would make the most sense to bring him on so he can answer all of the like litany of questions that I'm constantly peppering him with for all of you, so you can have all the same information that I have, because you guys all message me a million questions and then I have to bother him some more. So I'm kind of taking out the middleman here. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. We're super excited to have you.
Thank you.
Serg might be the most popular person in our house, in our Instagram, in our Twitter over the last 3 weeks. I don't know. We're old, Serg, so I might get this wrong, but I think we were clout chasing and we were hanging off the Ghostbreaker name for a few weeks. Like, we know a guy. Oh, yeah, no, I got my guy. You just want to hit up Ghostbreakers. He'll take care of you. We were at Shipshawana, my friend, in a blizzard. I shit you not, a blizzard where cars couldn't get anywhere. People were just like, whatever. Pieces of machinery pulling cars out of a ditch. Like over 300 people showed up for this trade night where they lost power. The trade night at the hotel after that, there's like 10 of us, and it's grown a little bit bigger and bigger each time. It's a quarterly show. But at like 1 o'clock in the morning, Courtney is slanging these boxes, sliding into your DMs as everybody's ripping wax. All this stuff's going on. A guy next to me pulled a Weston McKinney super fractor, and you would think that was the big deal. Nah, Courtney came in. She's like, "You want some more of these boxes? I got you. This is my guy, Ghostbreakers." Yeah. Venmo's cool. Venmo, yeah. Put the cash in the Gucci bag.
Yeah, I remember she was like, "Hey, do you have 7 bucks?" I was like, "Yes, I have." She's like, "Are you sure?" I was like, "Yeah, if you need more, I could get you more." But yeah, it's crazy how those cards have just blown up.
They're outside of my price range now, though.
Yeah, they.
I was on the ground floor with this one for once.
A bunch of thank you for referring a bunch of people to me, and then actually Mama Breaks, because I gave her a box too, so she's been referring a lot of people to me. So yeah, it's been great. I mean, I love this product.
It's super
prior to us hitting hit record, I think I saw them selling for approximately $600, which I think that is almost a 4x price increase over the last few weeks from when we originally got them.
Yeah, last box I saw just yesterday sold for $720, and I've been seeing cases go for over $5,000. And I've been seeing breakers do boxes for a minimum of $700, and then I seen breaks where for one box will go for $1,000 in a break. So it's definitely wild right now. The prices have gone up since PSA announced that they will be grading these cards. Tag also announced that they will be grading these cards as well. So the whole thing when these cards came out, everybody was so skeptical, just because I think a lot of the people confused these with Weiss, the Weiss shorts with the 100 years coming out next month. So I know I actually got in trouble from Whatnot selling these on Whatnot. So I got suspended for 7 days because I got reported by a bunch of people saying that these were fake, that you could actually get boxes for $20, $30. So I actually thought it was hilarious when that happened. And so I just laid off Whatnot. I was like, you know what? Like, I know that
Whatnot owes you an apology. No, I'm putting that out there right now. Whatnot, you owe Ghost Breaks an apology. You need to send them an apology letter. You need to send them a fruit basket. Maybe one of Derek Jeter baskets.
Right? Yeah.
They got that Whatnot money. They can afford it.
Yeah, what the hell, Whatnot? Be better. We want innovation. We want better breakers. We want people that are making it a fun time. My guy Serg shows up with the hottest product. He's out in front of it, and you punish him. Don't worry. I'm gonna get network. I'm gonna get drip. I'm gonna get eBay Live on the phone. We'll show these Whatnot fools what's going on.
Right? Yes, exactly, man. I was so surprised when that happened. I was like, you know what? I don't really. And it was so much drama. Just a bunch of people just like, and then they were putting Ghostbreakers' name like under their. I saw a Facebook post just saying like, "Hey, this guy's ripping people off," and then
they really owe you an apology for
and
that.
It was crazy. But and it's understandable. People had it's a brand new company. Like if you see their Instagrams, they only have like what 300 followers.
It's not
Um,
understandable though. Just you like that's people taking like limited knowledge and running with it without doing their due diligence. That's
yeah,
slanderous. That's
and
libel.
and you know the funny part is that I actually had the letter of like pretty much giving permission to China to release this product as a whole contract, giving them the pretty much the AI. And I showed that to Whatnot. I gave them the website. I gave them everything, and they still said no. You can't tell them. You can't tell them. And I got suspended. And I was like, what? So now with PSA that just came out, I actually just emailed them 2 days ago, and I showed them the post of PSA. So I'm still waiting to see what they're gonna say with this. So it's
I'm
crazy,
disappointed. I'm actually pretty disappointed in Whatnot. They're supposed to be like leading the leaders, like they're on the edge of
right? Yeah,
everything new, and here they are stifling someone and sort of like adding credence to people dragging your name on other platforms.
yeah.
That's super crappy. I'm sorry that happened to you. But so with this, I guess this is kind of like the natural segue into like your hobby journey. Are you strictly a TCG non-sports collector?
So it's funny. So when I started collecting as a kid, as a 4 or 5 years old, like I remember the ice cream truck that used to pass through our house, used to have cards. So
That's
I
cool.
used to buy marble. Yeah, so I used to spend my ice cream money on cards. So I used to buy X-Men packs, marble packs. That's when the like 95 pack came out for X-Men. So I was collecting a lot of that, and then I got into Pokemon around 7 years old. So I collected Pokemon for 2 years, and then living in a Hispanic household, like my mom did not believe in hoarding, so she like pretty much threw all my collection away. So that would have been really
Oh,
really valuable now,
oh,
but it's just it's different living on that
mama,
type of household.
no.
Yeah, I know. Right? And then I grew older. I started playing Yu-Gi-Oh. So I actually took Yu-Gi-Oh very serious. I actually went to tournaments, and I was pretty good at it. And I just love like the new sets coming out, and opening packs, and like getting the rarest cards. And I actually was very lucky of pulling like the rarest card of of the sets that were coming out when I was collecting. But then after you get older, you go into high school, so you just like forget about all that
You're
stuff.
chasing some other stuff besides cards, huh?
Yeah, exactly. So I went to college and all that, just didn't really care much about cards. And then the pandemic happened. Um, and I started collecting Pokemon. I saw a lot of people go. Actually, one of my college buddies that I went to school with, and he's actually my partner, Edgar. We went to school together, getting our bachelor's for accounting, and then he's the one that actually started collecting. I saw him buying Pokemon, so I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then I saw that it was actually valuable. So then my daughter was actually intrigued too. So I was like, let me just start collecting Pokemon with her. And then I got into sports, collecting football, basketball, and growing up, I my dad was a soccer coach, so it was just like family members, uncles, cousins. So he used to be the coach for that team, and so I grew up with soccer and watching soccer. Real Madrid, like that was my team. Like watching the World Cup, Brazil was like that's still my like that's my team. I just love Ronaldo when Ronaldinho was playing. So when I started, like, I didn't, to be honest, like growing up, I didn't really know about like sports cards. Like nobody really introduced me to them. I think if probably somebody around me would have probably kind of influenced me, like, hey, like these are pretty cool. At that time, I probably would have collected a lot of like Laker cards. So that was my team. I probably would have had a bunch of Kobe's, but I didn't really know about cards like that until like the pandemic happened. So yeah, so now I have a bunch of sports, Pokemon, um, yeah,
That's exciting. So I'm assuming you got into breaking over the pandemic like so many other people did.
yeah.
How did you get into that?
So, like I said, my buddy from college, I saw him break, and then I saw the prices that the people would charge for Pokemon, and I live in LA, close to downtown. So I was like, you know what? I told my buddy, I was like, you're overpaying for those boxes. Like I know we could get them for a lower price. And I was like, let me go look for it. So I went downtown, like literally just walking the streets, like up and down, going into all those little they call that alleys, and just like trying to look for Pokemon cards. And I was able to find three stores. And yeah, we were able to find the boxes like 40% cheaper than what he was paying. So I was like,
Wow.
bro, we could get these for this much. We could even go online and sell them for cheaper than what other people are selling. And that's kind of how we just started with. We started with Pokemon, and then we got into more with sports.
I love that you like your idea was like we can get them for less and then sell them to other people for less.
Yeah,
Because so many people are trying to like make a ton of money. You like all of the times that I've bought from you,
yeah,
your prices have been so fair. Like other people are were significantly higher and asking, exorbitant amounts, and you've always been like super reasonable, and I think that's really cool. And that's how our mentality always has been. So
yeah,
I think that was
yeah.
like one of the things when I met you, I could tell you were, you're not like,
Like super greedy and just after the
yeah,
money. Yeah, I mean, and I think that's why I've been able to get a lot of or people attract a lot of customers, especially on Whatnot, because I've always had like good prices. I mean, if I'm able to get it for cheap, why not give it for a cheaper price, right? So I think that has actually made us grow as a breaker.
so what's your favorite product to break?
I think right now at the moment is Kako Wow. This 100 years of Disney. I just love trying to chase or try to get a 101. I mean that's I think the biggest hit that you could get right of the whole set. But yeah, I think that's the funnest product right now. Before that it was Pixar, of course. It was just nothing but Pixar. I really so out of the Pixar, you're looking for the looks, right? There's 8 different colors that you could get. Um, I was fortunate enough to pull 2 during my breaks. So that's really exciting. I know people that have ripped bunch of cases and haven't been able to pull one. So being able to just pull one for people that actually come and support, and I actually give them the full service. So I actually graded both of those cards.
Yeah,
I was the
I saw those.
white Luxo, and it
So
was
pretty.
the orange Luxo, and the orange Luxo got tens all around except for centering and got a 9.5. So
Oh, so
it was a
almost
point
perfect.
5 away from a black label. So it's crazy. So those I think right now is all Disney product. I'm excited for the Wise 100 years that are gonna come out next month, and then actually Wise is releasing another Disney set in July. So that's gonna be something to look forward to, and then Lorcana that's gonna release in September.
So there's a lot of Disney. So is Disney like you think Disney's, people are talking about it being like overpriced and like crazy, but I think the thing that people in the hobby in the card space are like not accounting for is how effing crazy Disney adults are. Like they're
Oh yeah,
insane. They're crazier than hobby people. I
yeah,
have friends who are like quote unquote Disney adults, and it's like you're cross genre now. It's not just card collectors buying this stuff. It's people who are hardcore Disney collectors,
yeah,
people who are, maybe in the space and want to get their kids into collecting. So Disney cards are a really good way, like it wraps around like multiple genres. And I think that that's something that people are kind of not paying like, oh, it's just hyped right now because it's new, but it's new to us as like
yeah,
as card collectors. But Disney people collect buttons and pins and specific cups that you can only get for 1 week at the
yeah,
like at Disney.
yeah,
So I remember like people were waiting in line for like weeks over some like backpack that you could
yeah.
only buy. And the only reason I even know that is because I saw it on the news. Like Disney people are nuts.
Oh yeah,
So
they are.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
So yeah, then that's another thing that attracted me to it. Was I grew up with Disney. I mean, I remember watching like Peter Pan was my favorite, Pinocchio, all that stuff. Like I grew up watching all that stuff. And when I met my wife, she actually had a big Disney collection. Like she collected all the DVDs, so she was a big fan. And then of course my daughters, they grew up with it. We would always introduce them to all the movies. So when Pixar came out, my daughter went crazy. My 4-year-old still comes to my room to this day and says, Dad, do you have more cards for me? And she's always asking for cards. So they love it. Even my wife loves it. Like she has a couple of PSA 10 cards. She's like, don't sell that one. Like I'm keeping this one for, and so it's just fun, something fun to collect, especially if you're brought up like in a Disney household, like growing up watching those movies and collecting it with your family. It just makes it great.
It's a lot of
I think
nostalgia.
I think one of the coolest things I saw about this product was when we first got it. Courtney ripped her box, and I wasn't really sure what to expect. And I'm like, these actually are these are pretty cool. But the next day we did a show in Lansing, and our friend, our son Manny, not literally our son, but he's a bum and we claim him on our taxes. But he went live and he ripped a box with his daughter, and being able to just sit back and watch the joy on their face, his daughter wanting specific characters from certain movies and just seeing them together, like the togetherness was truly an awesome moment. Like, full disclosure, I'm a girl dad, so that kind of stuff really tugs at my heartstring.
Yeah.
But it truly was a beautiful thing to sit and watch, right, Court?
Yeah, it was. And it was something where, like, we open a lot of cards and the girls are really into Pokemon. So they know their favorite characters, but I don't know that. Like, I'm not a Pokemon collector. Like, I know, like, obviously I know Pikachu and Eevee and like Charizard and that, but I don't know their evolutions. I know they evolve, but I don't know. So being able to sit there and open these cards with my kids, and not only are they getting excited about the characters, but I know them, and so we can have conversations about like the characters. That was it was more inclusive for them.
Yeah, exactly.
I felt like it was more some up their alley. Both of our alleys, I guess, because they know a lot more about Pokemon than I do, and they're 4 and 5, so that's pretty sad for me.
Yeah, exactly. And then that's something that even got my wife into kind of like, okay, like that's pretty cool, because she would hate, because I collect a lot of sports cars, so she was like, oh my god, like more sports cars, like. But now with like Pixar, she actually enjoys them, so that's pretty cool.
I think, and here's something this is like the number one question we get all the time is, oh, how did you get your wife into cards? Frank, I've been into cards, since I was a kid, but a lot of people, I'm like, find something that she's interested in too. They make cards for everything. Yeah. And like, I see a lot of men being very excited that their wives are really into these Disney cards and their daughters. And it's like, if you want, not everything has to be a sports card. Yeah. This is a good way to get your family to be in this space and collecting with you. They get excited about it. So we kind of talked about the difference, but you talked about the Pixar Weiss Schwarz cards, and these are Kakawa, and they're from China, and they are licensed Disney product.
Right.
Now, I was lucky enough because you sent me the checklist in English, but I couldn't find a checklist anywhere or any information that I could read about them. So I was kind of hoping you could break down the product a little bit so that like anyone who's watching this can understand like how many base cards there are, what are some of the parallels, that sort of information.
Yeah, definitely. So it's so Kakawa is a new company that just came out in China. They're releasing a different sets. They did get licensed for Disney I believe their license is up till June. I think June of this year, I think is when it expires, from what I was reading. So it's fully licensed. It's limited to 4,000 cases. So there's only 40,000 boxes available. The company has completely sold out of this product. So whatever is out there is out there. And I think there's been some skeptical people that's saying like, oh, this is probably just hype. The prices are going to go down. As you guys have been seeing, like since PSA announced, like the prices of these boxes has just been going crazy. But with 100 years of Weiss coming out next year, I don't think this product will lose its value just because, like I said, it's very limited. This company is not gonna go ahead and reprint another set exactly like this. Compared to how Weiss, I mean, Courtney, when I met you at the Burbank Sports Card Show, and I was telling you about these different products releasing, at that time, Pixar had not announced a second reprint. And as you remember, the prices were pretty high for those boxes when we were at the Burbank Sports Card. And then a few weeks later, they announced the second reprint, so which devalued the boxes completely, probably by, I want to say, like 30-40%. Which is not the case with this product with China, right? There's only 4,000 cases, as I mentioned. So
right,
it's not the same thing that's gonna happen. I think with Pixar, I think these cards are just gonna keep going up. I'm holding to a couple cases, just I want to see where it's at like in 5 years, 6 years, and I don't know, maybe I could pay my daughter's college tuition with that.
I hope for your sake that they do go up that much.
Right?
So I actually saw prints. So let's first of all, there's 4,000 cases, 40,000 boxes. The base set of this alone is 180 cards. So that's the base set. When you take that out of there and you really think about like what 180 base cards means over only 40,000 boxes, the print runs even on the base cards are going to be very low, simply for the sake of how big the base set is. And then you have the same cards that you have for the base set, you have in hollows, which are there's less of those in the box, but still 180 of them. And then you have the numbered cards, and I've seen like the one of one that's like a black checkerboard. They have the posters like that are out of 99. They have the classic reunion. Gold. Yeah, the gold. There are the stamps and then the die cuts. And I believe the die cuts are more rare than the stamps, right?
So pure box, you get one die cut, you get the postcard stamp, the stamp card, and then you get the classic reunions. And I've seen boxes that don't have a serial number cards, and then I see boxes that have 2 number serial cards. So it's definitely depending on your luck. But most of the boxes do have at least one serial number card, and that's what you're looking for. So like you said, the 101 that kind of looks like the Black Prism 101.
They look like Prism cards.
Right, they do look like Prism cards, and I actually like the quality of it. I mean, the centering is nice, the surface is beautiful. But yes, the 101s, and then you have the 10s, the gold out of 10s. Then you have
autographs out of 100, right?
Yeah. And those, I think, what people kind of want to chase the most. Like they're looking for the Mickeys. I actually just pulled the mini yesterday, so I'm excited for that. And I'm actually yeah. And so they have the retro posters, and that's out of 99. And
those
then
are cool. I got a jumbo.
Yeah. Oh, that was cool. The Eternal, they have what it's called, the Eternal Force. That one's out of 20. Okay. I have not seen so many of those pulled, but that's such a beautiful card. And actually, I'm gonna try to at least get one from eBay if I can. Yeah, those I have not really seen that much.
I have a Zodiac too, the Chinese Zodiac, which are numbered out of
Zodiac 666, and
that made me laugh too because everybody here was ripping them. They're like 666, and then one of my friends was like, "In China, 666 is a very lucky number."
Lucky number, yeah.
And so I'm like, "Oh, see, that's cultural differences that I'm learning from collecting cards now." I had no idea that was the case, so I thought that was cool. It was something that I didn't know. So there's a lot like within this specific set of cards, and if their license is up in June, unless they all of a sudden just like start manically printing cards, they're not going to be able to print as many as everybody. Like you can't overprint these.
Yeah,
unless they renew their license.
Yeah, not unless they probably extend it, maybe have another conversation with Disney and then get an extension for that. But the Kakao is actually releasing other sets coming out next month. Next month they're gonna release Mickey and Friends and Tom and Jerry. So those are the 2 sets. Yeah, I know. When I was like Tom and Jerry, well, like I'm excited to see what they look like, and that's coming out next month.
We're gonna become best friends because I'm going to buy so much Tom and Jerry from you.
Oh, you need Tom and Jerry? I got Ghostbreakers right here. I got them. Don't you worry.
I know a guy. I mean, actually, maybe I'll never post this Hobby Night School because I don't want anyone to know. Like, no, sorry, he's my guy.
I always take care of you. But yeah, that's coming out next month, and then Star Wars is. So I'm more excited for Star Wars because Star Wars is gonna be a limited cases as well.
I bet Mama Breaks is super excited about that.
Yeah. So the Phantom Kakao, that's I don't know if Tom and Jerry and Mickey and Friends is gonna be Phantom Kakao, because I'm thinking like they want to leave Phantom Kakao as like a high-end limited product. So Star Wars is going to be a limited product also to 4,000 cases. Mickey and Friends, Tom and Jerry will be unlimited amount. So there will be mass production of that. So I think Star Wars would be a good play for those that like collecting Star Wars. I know right here in the USA, we do have a bunch of big Star Wars people that like collecting. Yeah. So
that galaxy stuff is just flying. Jeremy doesn't like it. I like Star Wars. I know Lauren is a big Star Wars fan, so she'll probably be bothering you too. We all will be. But so with the so funny. So So with the Pixar cards, they're not numbered. The Weiss Schwarz cards, they're not numbered. They have like the little like SSP, SSR, the Luxo, LUXO, and then they have the PXR, and you have to read those on the very back on the bottom like left corner of the card, and that tells you. And I learned that because I bought a box from you, and I was in the middle of buying another card. I bought a big Luca rookie, and then you were at the table behind me, and my friend was like, they have Pixar cards, which I had never seen, nor had I ever heard of before until I met you at Burbank. So I turn around and I'm like, I love Pixar. So I'm like, I definitely want a box of this. I've never heard of it before. I'm gonna buy it. And the whole time I'm standing there, my friend's going, you want to pull the lamp. The lamp card is the most valuable card. And I'm like, okay, the lamp, got it. I did not see the card on your table. I saw it later, but I didn't see it in that moment. So we go back to the hotel. We have a few cocktails and we decide, oh, let's rip this box. So I rip my box, and like the third pack that I open has the damn lamp, but it's like a rare, not like so it's sparkly and it's the lamp. So I'm like, oh my god, I hit the card. So I jump up, I'm yelling, everyone at the table's cheering. They don't know. Nobody knows that I don't know. So they think that I know what I'm talking about, and I'm running around like a maniac, like I got the lamp. And then I find out like later. After I wake Jeremy up back in Michigan and tell him that I pulled a $6,000 card and I like the whole trip's paid for. Yeah, it was.
Jeremy was like, what are you talking about?
I don't think you're right. I'm like, no, I'm right. He said the lamp.
I am a terrible sleeper, and anything that gets my mind going, forget about it. So when she called me at like 1:00 in the morning, and I had our 4-year-old had come down and crawled into bed, she's like, we hit it. It's massive. It is massive. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm up. I'm wide awake. No sleep for me. Can you please send me the information? And she's like, she's so excited and so in the moment. Everybody in the background's cheering. And she's like, yeah, I think these are like $8,000 cards. These are massive. And I'm like, okay, Courtney's spot on. She knows her stuff when it comes to cards. And so I'm like, all right, cool.
I didn't know this.
Part of my brain is already like, okay, stay an additional day. Let's get this thing graded. Right? Because I'm already planning her itinerary. I'm already spending a portion of the money. Like that Rolex I've been looking at. Okay, we're going to lock that down this month. It's going to happen a little bit sooner. Some spending money, yada, yada, yada. So finally I get the picture and I'm looking at it. I'm like, how the hell do you tell the difference? And so I start like investigating. I'm on eBay. You know how you can use the magnifying glass and go over it? And then I'm like looking at the numbers. And then I found a PSA 10 that buy it now that it was identical to Court's, that like buy it now for like $40. And so like at like 4:00 in the morning Eastern time, I messaged her back and I'm like, we still have to go to work on Monday.
Yeah. But in the interim, I bought like an $800 Patrick Williams card on eBay thinking that I'm like, I can cover
I was like, seriously, I was like, what the hell is going on? Because all of a sudden my eBay went off and it's like, you bought a gold, and like we collect Patrick Williams, and I'm like, I know I didn't bid on that. And she goes, don't worry, I got you covered. I'm like, wait a minute. So you're at Burbank buying Luca cards, you're at a trade night, you're out for drinks ripping wax, and you're buying cards on eBay. You truly are a degenerate. Respectfully.
Oh my god, that's so hilarious.
It was a problem. So now I know. And so for everybody else who wants to know, like the rare, like the little R, it's like a hollow. It's not. It's nothing. It's not like
double rare.
It's nothing. It's not super short printed, or it's just like it's shiny version of the base. And then even the rare, it's not that great. You want like the PXR, the LX.
No, you want the one that says the Luxo on the bottom.
Luxo is the one.
Yeah. So the case, one Pixar case is 18 boxes. In one case, you get one SSP, which is the case hit. So that's what people usually, when people join into breaks, they want to know like what's alive. So the breakers should kind of know what has been pulled. So it's one case hit, which is the SSP, and then you get 4 SPs. So those are the 5 kind of like hits that you're looking for. and then the Luxo. So from what I've been hearing, the Luxo comes out in one in every 24 or 18 cases.
So you're not
It's
even guaranteed one per case.
so it's like one in every 24. So it's super rare, and it's 8 different colors. And then you'll see like it's a big like stamp of the Luxo, and then on the bottom, instead of saying like PXR SP, it says a Luxo.
It's just really big.
Um,
I saw one because Trees, babe, that Trees.
Yeah.
If you follow him, I'll
oh
link.
yeah, you showed me the
He
what
got the
he put the
blue one, I
blue
think.
one. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and that was beautiful. And so then in each box, pure box, you get one PXR. You usually get 2 to 3 SRs, and then like I said, you're looking for the SPs, the SSPs, and the hopefully a Luxo.
So I pulled a couple SSPs. I have a couple.
SSPs?
Yeah,
Oh, that's great. Those.
yeah. So I still have them. I have a Monsters University one of like,
Oh, that's a good one.
yeah.
I
He's
think
in
the
his,
most expensive one is the Finding Nemo, and then the Toy Story with Buzz. The It's like a black background.
yeah. Buzz is like everybody wants Buzz.
Yeah.
So that's like,
One thing.
go ahead.
Go ahead, Court.
No, you go.
No, I was just going to say one thing that I'm in a group chat with people who rip all kinds of wax, every sport, everything. And one thing that they talk about routinely in the chat is just from a having fun without losing your shirt proposition. For them, TCG is so much better because you can rip an entire case, you can sell a few cards, make some of your money back, and then grade a few cards and not absolutely take a bath. Where if you buy like a box of Prism at $800, if you don't get good color of the quarterback, you're kind of taking a bath. And so we are very fortunate to test that theory on this product, rip it, send a couple off for grading. I think they were sent to SGC because at the time, maybe SGZ and BGS, I don't really remember. But put them up on eBay, and some of those silvers that I wouldn't think are even that crazy would sell for $100 to $200. Plus, some of the base stuff went pretty good, and we made our money back, and we've got cards coming from grading. So, from a value proposition, I feel like this has helped with this product too, because people know if you're going to spend a couple $100, which is a lot of money, $200 is $200. You can open it, have fun, and be confident that you're going to recoup some of your funds.
Yeah.
My concern is right now with the prices skyrocketing, and you have like big content creators like the Great Curator talking about it. It makes me nervous because like at this point now the prices are so exorbitant. Are you going to get the return? Is it gonna like go super high and then some people are going to be left holding a bag? Like that is something that makes me nervous with any product. The second that you start to see it go bananas like this one has, and I can look at it from both points of view. Is it like the PSA announcement, like, oh, we're definitely going to grade this now, so people are hyped because PSA has finally acknowledged it, maybe Whatnot's going to let people sell it on Whatnot now, and then you have big content creators talking about it.
Yeah.
And it does, because we've seen it a million times with other products where like everyone's like, oh, this is the next big thing, and then all of a sudden people are spending a ton of money on it and then it bottoms out. And so what I was just curious what your views on that are.
Yeah, I mean, I think right now at this point it is kind of hard to get into, but I think there's still a return if you get like now it's kind of getting like the Prism, right? You need to pull like the right character, right?
Right.
But yet even the silver ones, right? They're gonna be so like not a lot of people are gonna have them just because there's only 40,000 boxes. The amount of cards that are gonna be out there is just gonna be so limited, which I think is gonna bring the value of the card up, especially if you grade. I literally just slept like 2-3 hours because I was cleaning my cards yesterday for like I think I went to sleep like at 4 in the morning. And I was looking at my cards, and not all these cards that are numbered are like perfect tens.
No.
I know I'll probably have like 1, 2 if I'm lucky. But like just imagine, you get one of these boxes, you get like an okay card that's numbered, and you get a PSA 10. Somebody that likes that character is gonna pay money for it. A collector that likes Disney, I think they're gonna be, they'll drop money on it. So I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. Like you said, with the prices that are going up now, I mean, I think it's gonna hold its value just because they're limited, and that's my opinion. But I think people that got in early, like you did, that believed in it at an early stage, and were able to like buy boxes and just rip. I think they're in a good position now. But people that are kind of coming in late, I mean, I think they kind of just missed the train.
Yeah, it makes me like I never want to like. I really enjoy this product. Like it has been fun to rip. It has been a joy to do with my kids. It has been fun as like everything that we do in the hobby is very nostalgic. I think as collectors, I feel like that's the basis of almost everything we do. We talk about our generation kind of like reliving our childhoods because let's face it, millennials had kind of like a rough go of it. So it's nice to be, we have some money and we want to buy stuff that makes us think of our childhood. Right. And the Disney cards, like ripping the Aladdin and Beauty and the Beast and, all of that stuff. For me, it was exciting to see the characters from like the classic animation. And I know I haven't really watched a ton of the live action ones, but I know you can get autographs from these actors that played the live action characters in here too. And that is a huge bonus for people because maybe you're not a big Disney fan, but you love Emma Watson. That that is that's something that you can't get in any kind of hobby box really at this point.
Yeah, and being I think the first set that has number cards, I think it actually kind of sets that like value. I think if you buy a box now and just hold on to it, I'm sure in a couple of years you'll be. I don't know. That's just my thinking. I think these cards are gonna, like in a couple of years, gonna be so rare to even have a box that it's kind of like the first edition Pokemon cards that came out. Like those boxes now go for, crazy amount of money, and that was way like overprinted, right? I mean, they made so much of that product, and so I don't know. I'm just kind of excited to see where it's gonna go in the next few years.
Was it those first edition Pokemon that had the GI Joe cards in them?
I did see those.
Yeah, I know. My first edition GI Joe cards.
I was like, damn! If nobody even cracks a smile, that was an epic swing and a miss. We'll go ahead and edit that out.
So I don't know. So something that I thought I was super excited because I'm a big fan of like the Pirates of the Caribbean, and I pulled like a Captain Barbossa and a Serena the mermaid.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh my God, can I get a Jack Sparrow card in here? It is worth noting for everyone that everything with Johnny Depp and Disney and the Pirates of the Caribbean thing, he is not in this set. So don't go looking, don't be trying to chase that card because he doesn't exist in this set.
But we do have The Rock, so that's actually
I was excited. I didn't know The Rock was going to be in there. I pulled one. I was like, oh, let's go.
Yeah, for me, like I grew up watching wrestling, so like Stone Cold, The Rock, Undertaker, like that was my answer. So when I was like, what? They have The Rock comes out in this Disney, probably like, oh.
Angelina Jolie.
Yeah.
I mean,
we'll have to get you out to Detroit this summer, Ghostbreakers. It's like SummerSlam is at Ford Field in Detroit this year. So even though I haven't watched Raw, Courtney was actually watching Raw a few weeks ago. I came up and Raw was on TV. I'm like, what the hell's going on? But SummerSlam's coming.
He's like, are you watching Raw? I'm like, yeah, I haven't watched it in a while. I'm trying to catch up. I'm like, I don't know like 4 of these people that are in the ring right now though.
Yeah, so my partner actually that's how he does wrestling breaks on Whatnot. So we have 2 accounts on Whatnot. My account is mostly just Marvel and Disney products. He does all the wrestling, and he's really into wrestling. Like he goes to all like the WrestleManias, like all the big events. So yeah, we'll be
come out to Detroit. We'll set you up. It'll be fun.
Definitely.
Well, it has been an absolute blast having you on. This has been really informative. Why don't you once again tell everyone where you can say both of your accounts for the wrestling and like on Whatnot, where everyone can follow you, and then we'll link everything in the show because as much as I want to be selfish and keep you to myself, I will share.
Sounds good. So you guys can find us on Instagram is Ghostbreakers. There's just a period after Ghost, so it's Ghostbreakers. And then you guys can find us on Whatnot with Ghostbreakers. And then the wrestling account is the same thing. Ghostbreakers just has an extra S at the end. So those are the 3 platforms where we're streaming at. the moment.
Excellent. You guys you're sleeping if you're not following these guys because they are fantastic. I actually did a break with you the other day too because I'm a damn degenerate and buying boxes of this stuff is not enough. I also need to break with it as well. So I got that in the mail yesterday. Shipping perfect. Can't great packaging, super fast shipping. Like these guys are on top of it. So make sure you're checking them out.
Appreciate you guys.
Thank you so much, man. I hope you have a great day. And you'll see on Whatnot, you'll see his name and it'll say suspended in red letters going diagonal. So that's the right one.
I'm ready to start a campaign to have a Whatnot, do a live announcement apology to you.
Right.
Agreed.
Hopefully. All right. Well, I'll see you guys at the Mint, right? You guys gonna be there?
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. When this is gonna drop, will be in Vegas when this drops. So
perfect.
Let's go. It'll drop and everybody will be like, oh, I need to go find him.
Yes.
I'll just put my table number below.
Let us know. I'll link it so everyone can find you at the Mint. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. And until next time, stay safe and have a good time collecting. Bye.
Good night.